Thanks for joining us here on the Bearcat Sports Network. It's the second installment of our 2015 McKendree University football season preview. Time to look at the Bearcats' defense for the coming season. We're joined by McKendree head football coach Mike Babcock. And Coach, let's get right into it. It all starts up front. One of the deepest front fours, perhaps in the Great Lakes Valley Conference. You know, look at the ends that the Bearcats have. Lucky Barr, a junior. Brett Pierman, a senior. Those guys, 2 years ago it was Brett Pierman, last year it was Lucky Barr that had the breakout seasons, and I'm sure that's a luxury for the Bearcats to have.
You know, it's nice when you have tough guys up front. You know, if you look at top teams in the NFL, you know, they're able to do some really good things when they have the guys up front to do it. So I feel fortunate in where we're at D-line wise. You know, Lucky's had a great off season, great preseason camp. You know, even Brett Pierman's really picking it up because I know he wants to finish out his career on a high note. You know, but don't count, you know, out our second string, you know, guys. You know, guys like Tobias Cook, you know, Darian Simmons. You know, there's not much difference between them and the guys, you know, ahead of them. I mean, so they'll definitely get some playing time. So it's going to be real nice, kind of watching those defensive ends. And then when you talk about the guys, you know, on the inside, you know, you talk about you know, guys like you know, Marquez Cherry has done a nice job. A transfer coming in, Tyler House, you know, playing our 3 technique. You know, he's done a very nice job as well. And then same thing with their backups. You got a guy like Jeff Brown, you know, a redshirt freshman, probably one of the biggest D linemen in the league. He's quick, he's fast, and he's a great kid. And so I'm really excited overall about our entire D line and really excited to see what they can do this week.
And it's had to help too. You switched from a 3-4 last year to a 4-3 this year. You have the depth this year. You're able to get those guys in the mix. And like you said, 1 deep, 2 deep, the Bearcats can rotate it. Plenty of linemen out there. Keep them fresh, especially when you get into conference play.
Absolutely. You know, the big thing's going to be that injury bug. You know, I truly hope that we can continue and be able to get those rotations and get those reps and be able to play with the guys that we still have right now. And you know, only time will tell, but you know, like I said, they're playing at a high level right now, and again, just really excited to see what they can do.
Go to the middle layer of the defense, the linebacking core. Traditionally has been a strength for the Bearcats. The same continues again this year. Leading in the middle is A.J. Wentland, who set a school record 132 tackles last year. You've got some veteran returners back in George Hill, a guy like Austin Welth, who got a lot of playing time last year, and then a newcomer, Brandon Moody, who you project to see a lot of playing time on the outside as well.
You know, I really like our linebacking core. You know, they're fast, they're physical, and it's really what you want, you know, at the linebackers. You know, starting off with A.J. Wentland had a great year last year, breakout year. I expect bigger things out of him this year, and I know he does too. And he really wants to, you know, get this entire defense to the top of the conference. And love AJ and everything that he does. You know, branching out from that, you know, guys like George Hill, very athletic, physical, loves to play on the perimeter. He's a leader. You know, he's the emotional guy. Does some great things, and so very happy. And he's got experience too. You know, that's the big thing. He's got experience out there, and so seeing those guys out there really do a nice job. You know, on the other end, as far as the other linebacker, Brandon Moody came in as a junior college transfer from California and has done a nice job assimilating to what we're trying to do defensively, and has done a nice job this preseason camp of pretty much solidifying his spot at that linebacker. But right behind him is a guy like you said, Austin Weltha, another, you know, sophomore right now, another young guy, but again is a hard hitter. He was an all-state wrestler back in the day. I mean, he's pretty tough, so he's a great guy. And you know, other guys rounding that out. You know, Jeremiah Wilkins, I think, could see some playing time too. You know, he's coming up and finishing up his career. You know, an older guy, but a great leader as well on the defense. And you know, guys like Kyle Kirkpatrick had a great year last year as a freshman, is now sophomore. And so we're still pretty young at that group, but at the same point, again, guys that are fast and physical, and that's what you need at linebacker.
In the secondary, the Bearcats have a lot of young players, like you said, with the depth of the linebacking core. Young players that had to step up and get a lot of playing time early on last year. And it really showed that experience came through. Towards the later half of the season, they started to catch on, get the schemes down. Some guys that are back Switching positions, if you will, Derek Curry, a cornerback last year, moves to safety. Weston Brown saw a lot of playing time. A guy like Jabari Winston, who was nicked with the injury bug last year. Jordan Osborne, talk about that secondary and what you envision the Bearcats lining up in this year.
Sure. Last year, when you look at it, we had one or two seniors playing at safety, with David Thomas and Harrison Skokos that are leaving now. So we got to find replacements, and guys like Cruz Navarro has been able to come in and do some nice things at the safety position. Derek Curry, who we've moved from corner to safety to see what he can do back there. He's done a nice job transitioning as well. But even at the safety position, Carter Vance, who is another blue collar guy that loves to hit, and he's making the right calls and everything. So he does a nice job back there. Weston Brown, like you said, is coming back for his sophomore season. He's done a nice job there. So really happy where we're at safety wise. When you look at the corner position, when you end up playing a lot of freshmen last year at the corner position, you basically throw them in the deep end of the pool and hope they can swim. And so last year they were trying to get their feet underneath themselves and figure it out. But I tell you what, they have had an unbelievable camp. Guys like Nate Powell, Jordan Osborne, you had said earlier, Jabari Winston, he's probably had the best camp, he's had in these last 2 years. He's coming into his junior season right now. So, the nice thing is that even though I might not have a senior at corner position, all of those guys have game experience. And so, again, I'm very excited to see what we can do in the back half. I know that was a position of concern early on. I think the guys have really bought into the fact that we want to be a top tier defense, and it really doesn't matter who gets the nod. We're going to play like it. We're going to know our assignment. We're going to come up and hit hard. And again, just excited to get going.
Lots of possibilities along the entire defense. It sounds like an exciting time for that unit as you head into the 2015 season. That wraps up our defensive look at the 2015 McKendree University football program. Our last installment, we'll take a look at special teams, the kickers, the punters, the return men, and then we'll get Coach Babcock's overall assessment of his 2015 football squad. Join us here again on the Bearcat Sports Network.